Happy Friday, friends. Just going to go over a couple of new names on the watch list. I always go over the watch list because it's important to keep replenishing your ideas just to keep this machine rolling. So let's go through a few today. Ran them this morning. So this is Aerojet. I kind of like the way this consolidated here, broke out on big volume. It's hitting some resistance right here, but I want to see if it comes back, retest this, curl higher on the weekly. We're seeing that it's going to be a lot of headwinds up here, like between 46 and maybe 49. So we'll be wary of this, but maybe there's a trade. Cardinal Health. Really liking this breakout on the daily, right? So up big, good volume, really big follow through today. I love to see that. So let's see if it comes back, kind of retest this 58, 59 area and start to curl higher and plan to trade to the long side. Again, look at this on the weekly, major breakout here. This is some pretty good resistance, and we've cleared it. So I'm encouraged by the chart patterns of Cardinal Health. Let's go to Costco. So similar to on the daily. So it came up here, held up, went parabolic here, kind of broke out, coming off a little bit today. I'd like to see if it comes down here and can like settle in somewhere around 570. 580 and then curl higher again. I like this 52-week breakout. I look at the weekly, similar pattern. See what we're seeing there. Pretty good breakout. I like to see it blow off its steam, come back here, settle in, and then maybe we'll see it move higher. Lockheed. So this monster breakout here was the move. So it came up, came down. I mean, we really should have been buying right here in the 420 range. I kind of missed this one, but that said, it did come up on the screen yesterday. Big up day. Got some overhead here, so we'll see if it can come back, maybe retest this 20-day moving average, and there might be a trade in here. On the weekly, it again, we missed the breakout, but if it can consolidate and head higher, there might be a trade. Pfizer. Pretty interesting. So we had this big move yesterday. It is hitting some overhead here. It's not able to clear it today. It's also going to have some overhead over here, but I'm kind of watching this. It's coiling. We'll see what happens as it gets thinner and thinner in here. And if there's a breakout or a breakdown, we'll know how to trade it. On the weekly, looks, the uptrend is intact. It hit its moving at, it hit the upward trending line. It's been riding this 50-day pretty good. Even the 50 week, riding the 50 to 20 week. Pretty good breakout yesterday. I'm watching to see. Maybe something interesting. Don't love it, but it's there. Aggressive. So good breakout here. Come up, came down. Maybe an appropriate buy signal would have been in here somewhere. But I like the way this thing broke out. Let's see where it shakes out. Looking for some strength, trade to the upside. Progressive on the weekly. The uptrend is definitely intact, so I'm definitely not afraid of taking a long bias here should the opportunity arise. SNY. So this had some overhead here on the daily, and it broke through. It's been up monster for the past 5 days. Really, really strong action. And you can see here too on the weekly, just kind of cupped here, broke out in a big way. We'll see if it comes back, maybe retest this 54 level and starts to head higher again. I'll be inclined to take an upside bias to it. We'll talk about target. It's gapped up. Nice. And consolidating here in this area. Broke out today. Kind of got this undecided bull versus bear pattern right here. But we'll see where it shakes out. What is that called? Called a doji? Not quite, right? So there's still a little opening there. Almost looks like a doji. But we'll see. I'm looking maybe to trade this higher. On the weekly, pretty good breakout through this little down channel, but it's had this monster run. So this is like almost like a flag pattern on the weekly, and it broke out. So I'm encouraged by this. This is one, for full disclosure, this is one I own. I've owned it for a while. I kind of like the way this actually looks almost like an inverse head and shoulders. Let me take this. Okay. Right? Right? Maybe. Maybe it's there. Anyway, so good breakout, good volume. I'm waiting to see how this shakes out. I'll trade to the upside bias. I'm also looking at this long-term uptrend that it's been in. It's kind of cupped down, but it's done in the past. You see here, it broke to 50 and bounced, broke to 50, bounced, broke to 50, bounced, broke to 50. Looks like it's bouncing again. So there might be a play here. Waste connections. Monster move. Pretty good breakout. Pretty decent volume. I'll wait for it. Wait to see if it kind of pulls back a little bit in the 140 area and it starts to head higher again in MACD histogram. I'd be like to trade it long. Same thing on the weekly. Pretty significant breakout. I don't know if this is an all-time high, but certainly a multi-year high. Looks great. Really, really strong uptrend. ZTS. So I kind of like. So this is kind of, it sold off hard. It's been cupping here. It broke through its 20-day and its 50-day to the upside on good volume. It's following through today. I'm encouraged by this pattern. If I look at the weekly, we broke through the 50-week to the upside. Looks like we're breaking through the 20-week to the upside. So still a lot of headwind here, but I'm curious about this pattern. Not saying I'm going to trade it, but I'm just going to watch it. Crown Holdings. So Crown Holdings is one that looks like it's breaking down to me. So it's had this nice uptrend, but it's broke through its 20-day, broke through its 50-day, and just kind of looks a little broken. So I'm going to keep my eye on it, maybe trade it to the downside bias. Just be wary on the daily here. Looks like it's got support here, maybe 114, 115. So there's not much downside there, but we could certainly try to make it happen. In terms of the weekly, doesn't really look all that broken, right? So didn't even break the 20-week or the 50-week. So the uptrend still looks kind of intact to me. So I'd be wary about this one, but it's on the list. It's important to keep your watch list fresh. A lot of the stuff is going to fall off eventually, but just keep looking. Let's talk about Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs looks really ugly. It did break down yesterday, but today seems to be having a pretty solid day. So I'm gonna wait and see. Maybe this thing comes up and retests the 20-day or the 50-day, or test this downtrending pattern that it has, this downtrend. So we'll watch it as it gets to maybe 330-ish or so. If it starts to look weak, maybe there's a downside play to this. On the weekly, just looks busted. The 20-week and the 50-week are about to cross. This thing is broken through. this week this thing has broken through a whole bunch of support here. I don't know, maybe a key level. I didn't put this on the chart, but a key level seems to be like somewhere right around here, right? That looks like an important level. It's still ways off. We'll see how it shakes out. I think this is the last one I got. The last one is penny. So it's been in a downtrend on a daily chart. It's kind of been holding this $40 range for a while. Broke through yesterday in a big way. It's still down today, following through. I'd be inclined to see how low it goes and to see if it comes back and retest this 40 area, and I might take a downside bias to it. On the weekly, this is an important level. I mean, if it does break down and it comes up to retest and starts showing weakness around the $40 level, whatever that is, 37 bucks, I see a lot of downside risk in this name. So we will approach it as it comes. Let's talk about a few trades. So we did this spread with Teslas. Tesla right now. So I'll show you the chart. So Teslas, we did the spread. We were anticipating it closing below 1,200 bucks by the end of today, and it looks like that's about to be the case. It's trading at 1033.10 right now. So we're in good shape. That's money in the bank. So I think we're going to collect 100% of that spread. I closed it out, and we collected our spread on it. I did a trade this morning, CCK. So the CCK, it's been in a pretty solid uptrend. You see it's come down. It's tested this 50-day moving average and the 20-day. It's pretty tight, but it's tested and it bounced and it's bounced and it's an uptrend. I'm anticipating this is going to get a little bit of a bounce here. So I wrote a spread thinking that's going to close above 118.33 by next week. You can see here I sold 10 puts that made 20 puts, 120 strike price for 370, and I bought 10 May 20th 115 puts for 240. So there's my spread. We're up 6% in the trade since we put it on this morning. Oh, by the way, the Tesla trade, which we did 7 days ago, so the holding period is 7 days. These are calendar days, so I don't know trading days, but we made 12% in 7 days. It's not terrible. We'll take it. And that's all I got for today. Thanks, guys.